Watson and I as we plan for a beautiful spring today on the Daily Connoisseur. Hello everyone, Jennifer and Watson here, and today I have another Plan With Me video. A lot of you reacted well to the last one I did, and I think it resonated with a lot of people. We are planning for a beautiful spring today. We are not planning for hardcore productivity. The old paradigm has fallen away, and we are now planning for a season of beauty. So I wanted to do this video that will kind of encompass what I envision for spring, and I invite you to join me. Please get out your planner or your notebook to take notes. I'm going to have our handy little checklist on the screen, and you can follow along if you would like to. But I am personally finding so much benefit from this way of planning. My life is literally changing on a daily basis because of it in a very positive way. So I'm very excited about this, and I hope that you are too. Okay, so let's begin. I have my notes here, and Watson is chewing his bone, and I hope that that's I hope that's not distracting. It's like I don't know, it seems like a little bit rude. But you know, it is what it is. Okay, so let's begin the session by reviewing the word of the year. And my word of the year is receive. I was very baffled by this word. I don't know why it came to me, but it did. And I am slowly uncovering the meaning of this word for me this year. And that's what's so amazing about the word of the year, is that it may be a mystery to you as to why you chose it, or it might be clear as day. But either way, it is so good to have this word at the forefront of our minds as we go throughout the year. So my word of the year is checking out well. Do you know the main thing that I have been receiving this year is the capacity to change? That is the biggest thing for me. The reason why I say that is because all of this is so new to me. This planning for beauty, regulating my nervous system, these day-to-day changes are very different to how I have been living. So I have mainly been receiving the capacity to change, and the change is happening. And so I think that that's been amazing. So my word of the year has been going well. I would love to know how your word of the year is going as well in the comment section down below. The second way that we are planning for a year of beauty is to plan around our energy. And this is a huge shift for me, and I have had major revelations as I have done this. And I would love to hear yours down below, but let me share mine with you right now. So this may seem obvious, it may seem elementary to some people, but these little shifts in my day have completely changed my day. And yes, I have been doing things like planning around energy. So for example, when I need mental acuity, I will work on my writing projects. When I have physical energy, but my mental capacity feels low, then I will work on mopping the floor. You know what I mean? So really being in tune with my own energy and planning my day around that is still going well, but I have had a few other revelations. So the main one is this. It is revelations on planning around energy in relation to time blocking. So for example, I'm somebody who loves to use the timer. I love clocks. I love watches. I'm always looking at the time, and I need to make that work for me. So here is an example of where I would get stressed before and now how things have changed. Let's say I have 24 minutes until I take my children to piano lessons. Okay, that's just a random example. But let's say I have that specific amount of time before I take them somewhere, and I have two things that I need to complete. One of them is editing or putting together a YouTube video, which I know will take me at least an hour or so. The other thing I need to do is empty the dishwasher and, you know, kind of tidy up the kitchen. Now, what do I want to do? I want to work on the YouTube video. So old me would have sat down to work on the YouTube video and maybe left the kitchen for later. However, I also need to know myself, as Seneca said, and I know that once I get stuck in on deep work, I do not want to leave it. So I know that I would kind of like sit down. It would take me a while to get started working on the YouTube video. And then I would have to leave. Like I would have to put it away and leave. And I would be cutting off the work at an inopportune time and feel frustrated about that. And then the kitchen would be messy when I get back. Are you with me? So instead, even though I want to work on the creative project, I choose to know myself and know that in those 24 minutes, I could actually knock out some housework. And then when I come back from piano lessons, I can then be free to work on the creative project. So I hope that that makes sense, but for me, it's about really gauging in a moment-by-moment basis what is the best thing for me, not only for my energy, but just knowing myself and how I am. Okay, because one of my chief frustrations is getting involved in a creative project and then being interrupted and having to stop it. That's why when I write, I have to know that I have at least an hour where I'm not going to talk to anybody or be asked to do anything. So that's why I would write at 5 in the morning, or I would write in the evening after the children have gone to bed. So I hope that makes sense, but those are my major revelations, and maybe that could translate to something that is useful in your life. I hope you are enjoying the video so far. I wanted to take a brief moment to invite you to join the Chic Society. If you love this channel and you would like more content from it, the Chic Society is a wonderful place where we enjoy live streams, we enjoy Zoom calls with each other, we have an optional pen pal program. It's really a beautiful community. I keep the membership very affordable at $1.99 a month. There's also an upper tier as well if you'd like to support the channel on a higher level. But the Chic Society is just a wonderful place, and I truly hope that you will join us. You can click the join button down below or the link in the description box to learn more. Okay, the next way that we are planning for a year of beauty is to have anchor rituals. Anchoring rituals, whether they be daily rituals, weekly rituals, monthly rituals, but they are just what brings us together and anchor us throughout our lives. And so for me, I'm learning that the daily anchor rituals are great for me to focus on, and that each of the rituals has to be something that really feeds my soul and brings me joy. And that's what's finding pleasure for me. So I wrote down here my anchor rituals for the springtime will be reading, going on walks, and puzzling. Those are going to be the anchor rituals for me throughout my day. I'm going to try to get to those 3 things each day because they bring joy to my life. Of course, I have others as well, like tea time, journaling, gardening, those types of things. But those are the anchor rituals that I have in my day that I really need to hit. So those are my anchor rituals, and I'd love to hear yours. Okay, now we are going to talk about quality over quantity, and I have some questions for you. Here is a big question. Did I live well this week? And I'm saying this week because technically we should kind of be asking ourselves this at least on a weekly basis, but I'm doing this for the season. So have I been living well lately? I would say yes, in the sense that I have really focused on just enjoying my family, regulating my nervous system, not working myself too hard. So I would say yes, I have lived well this week. Okay, the next question is, what felt nourishing? I would say, just to be quite literal, food has felt very nourishing. I have been enjoying cooking, I've been enjoying eating, I've tried a few new recipes, I've tried a few of my old favorites, and so nourishing has been good. What felt rushed or draining? Okay, so this is what I've been struggling with lately, and I think it's something that a lot of people do as well, and it is the packed mornings. So much is packed into our mornings, and it can just feel completely overwhelming. And again, when planning around energy, Watson is now using me as his bone. Come up here. When planning around energy, I know I'm not doing any like deep, thoughtful, creative, meaningful work in the mornings once the morning rush has started, because our mornings have changed a lot. 2 of my children are homeschooled and 2 are not, and that requires me driving in the morning. And so my morning has really changed. So it's about, the packed mornings have felt rushed and draining. So I still need to tweak them until I'm not feeling that way anymore. And then also with the time change, this has been really difficult for me, for some reason, because the time change doesn't normally affect me that much. Maybe it's because I'm getting older, but this time change, the spring forward, has been so hard for me. I've only naturally woken up at 5 once, and I normally wake up at 5 naturally. And so I have actually been having to set an alarm, and I can barely wake up at 6:30 in the morning. And that is so weird for me. So the time change has been weird, but again, I'm going with it. I'm not like forcing myself to wake up at 5 if I don't want to. But that has also meant that I am not meditating in the morning, and I have to meditate at least some time throughout the day. Prayer and meditation are like foundational in my life, and I have to do it. So that has felt rushed and draining. I'm hoping that my body adjusts to the time change better. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is set seasonal intentions. And my last seasonal intentions were regulated days, cups of tea, and time for myself. And I would say that that remains the same, seasonal intentions. But I would like to add to this list more reading, which I have been doing, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. But yes, I would just add to the list more reading and spending more time in nature. That's a big one for me, especially in the spring when it's so beautiful outside. Next is the not to do list. And I do like this list. I know it's negative, but it's important to really hone in on what we do not want to be doing so that we can avoid it. So my last video that I did with you, I mentioned I am not going to overschedule. I'm not going to be multitasking. I'm not going to be stressed, but that was a goal. I am not going to have shallow breathing. And then I'm not going to be not stretching and rebounding. That's very important to me. I would like to keep all of those, but I'd also like to add to the list, not get too busy to take care of myself. And I'm talking about the frivolous things that we think are frivolous, like for example, the manicure. I gave myself a manicure and a pedicure last night. I'm loving this periwinkle blue color by London Town. Honestly, it seems so trivial, frivolous, maybe even vain, but things like this really bring me joy, especially when I'm busy. I like having pretty nails, and I like that I'm able to give myself a manicure and a pedicure. So really to make time for things like that. So that's on my not to-do list, is to not overlook my own personal pleasures. Okay, next we are going to track our inner life. What are the things we're doing to nourish us? They will be different for everybody, but for me, I like to focus on books, poetry, quotes, creativity, inspiration, and those types of things, okay? So I will tell you about the book that I'm reading. I am deep into my spring TBR, and I am reading Endurance by Alfred Lansing. I'm about 3/4 of the way through with this book. This is not a spring book. I don't know why I'm reading it in the spring. It literally takes place in Antarctica. But it is a true story of Shackleton's voyage to Antarctica. There is a shipwreck. It is a survival story. I have never read a book more incredible than this, and it's because it's a true story. Okay, like I just texted my cousin today, my sister and brother-in-law. I'm like, you have to read this book. This book, I can't completely just, I can't tell you how much I am moved by this book. I'm not even finished yet, but I can't put it down. I think part of the reason why I'm so tired in the morning is because I am staying up till like 11 o'clock reading this book, so it makes sense that with the time change. But I don't even care, because this book is just incredible. So I will share more about this book when I reveal my summer TBR and I do my spring TBR recap. But I think everybody should read this book. It is just, I don't know, I'm speechless. As you can see, I just cannot even express to you how much this book is impacting me. So anyway, did I sing the book's praises enough? It is called Endurance by Alfred Lansing. So anyway, that is the book I'm reading. It's getting me thinking so much about the human spirit, about our own levels of endurance and what we're capable of. That is the book I'm reading. Quotes. I like to write inspiring quotes in my commonplace book. You could do that in your commonplace book or in your planner or when you're planning for a beautiful month. And I came across a quote that has absolutely intrigued me. I've never heard it before until recently. And it is by Jiddu Krishnamurti, who was an Indian author and philosopher. And this is his quote. He said, "Here's my secret. I don't mind what happens." I'm going to say that again. Here's my secret. I don't mind what happens. And I don't know. I'm still processing this quote. I think that it is brilliant. So I'm writing that in my commonplace book as well as in my planner. And we could get into philosophical arguments on whether or not this is like a good philosophy, but I think that it could help us all in many situations where we are holding things too tightly, when we want something to happen and it doesn't happen. Can we be happy no matter what? And I even had somebody leave me a comment the other day and they said, "Jennifer, why are you so happy?" And honestly, I'm not. Like, I don't want to give the impression that I'm always like happy and thriving. I am not, okay? I am just like most people, and I have my ups and my downs. And when the camera turns on, you know, I'm trying to be happy, right? And I've been through a lot in my life, a lot that none of you even know about, okay? But I think that this philosophy, he says his secret is, and I'm assuming by secret he means secret to a happy life, he doesn't mind what happens. It's being okay with it. It's being like the water, being flexible, you know? And anyway, that's just another quote that I'm like, wow. Okay, so here's my secret. I don't mind what happens. And then as far as poems go, I would like to read more poetry. I've been kind of just too enthralled in my books to read as much poetry as I want, but I want to read some spring poems like Emily Dickinson poetry. And also I'd like to revisit The Peace of Wild Things by Wendell Berry, because I'm really feeling that when I step outside, feeling the peace of wild things, of the insects, of the flowers, of nature in general. So there you go. Okay, the next thing that we are going to do is to plan for beauty. As I'm filming this video, I do have a plan to go to the theater. My sister and I are going to go to the premiere of Kim's Convenience at the Amundsen, which I'm so excited about. It is a Netflix show, and I've seen the first episode and I thought it was so hilarious, and my sister has watched like 2 seasons of it, so she's can't wait. So yes, I have a trip to the theater. I think if you can try to go to the theater, the opera, the ballet, any live performance like that at least once a year, but if you can go more, maybe each season at least. That's what I try to do anyway, if not more than that. So, and then I also want to do some forest bathing or a beach day, like a nature day basically, at least a few of them. And then this May, Ben and I are having our 20th wedding anniversary. I can't believe that. I still feel like a kid. I can't believe I've been married for 20 years. So we'll do something special for that. But in addition to all of those big things, I would like to focus on making my ordinary days at home beautiful through cups of tea, through flowers. I picked this is like my first spring bouquet from our garden, and there's not enough flowers to fill up the entire bouquet, but I just love it. It's so pretty and I get such pleasure out of that. So just enjoying ordinary days at home. And then we are at the conclusion where we are going to do a gentle review. Okay, so we're going to list one thing we are proud of. And I was journaling this last night and I wrote, I am proud of the balance that I'm achieving. I really am, because this doesn't come naturally to me. I am someone whose nervous system is very dysregulated, and just feeling like I need to be so hyper productive, living in my masculine energy a lot. So I'm really trying to balance that, be more in the feminine, receive more, not be such like an overachiever type person, even though I still want to achieve a lot. So I am very proud of the balance that I am achieving. That's ironic. One lesson I learned, I would say that time blocking according to my energy and knowing myself is the best lesson that I have learned recently. I'm just happier when I do that. Seneca said, know thyself. You have to know yourself. What type of person are you? Are you an introverted person who loves to do deep work, but when you're pulled out of the deep work, you get really frustrated? Or are you the type of person who has to have a clean home before you can do anything else? Those types of things. Like, just know yourself and work with it, because there's nothing wrong with how you are. You just need to work with it to make your days flow better. And then one adjustment for the week. Okay, obviously we're not doing this on a weekly basis here together, but I would say one adjustment going forward is when I have a big project, to allow myself slack in other areas. So for example, I wrote here, I need to deep clean my boys' room, and that involves, we have to declutter their clothes that don't fit anymore, donate those. It's like a huge task. And just, we have to do the room has gotten like messy and out of control. So that's going to take a while, and so other things might need to be put on pause while I do that. That's an example. I'm also working on writing projects, so I am adjusting accordingly. You won't see as many videos here on YouTube, but the videos I do give you, I want them to be really, just so good. So anyway, thanks for your understanding with that. And that is it. I hope that you enjoyed today's video and that it gave you inspiration to plan for a beautiful spring. I would like to invite you to read my latest book. It is called The Daily Connoisseur's Guide to Living Well at Home. If you are looking to bring more beauty into your everyday life through your routines, your rituals, and your home living philosophy, I think you'll love my new book. So I will leave that as well as my other books linked down below. Thank you so much for joining us here on The Daily Connoisseur. I hope that you enjoyed this video and that it gave you inspiration for planning a beautiful spring. I hope that you take care, and Watson and I wish you very well. Keep calm and remain classy and all those sort of things, and we will see you in the next video. Goodbye.